Hey guys, welcome to another Baddies Africa Tea recap. This is part 5 of this series and it is reunion night. So part 1 of the reunion will come on tonight around 8 p.m. Eastern time. If I have time before 8 o'clock after this, I am going to do a Midwest pre-show video, just giving my predictions and going over all the tea and everything that allegedly happened before we watch the show tonight. But this recap is going to focus on a few topics, including Dolly dissing DTB, Dolly getting into it with the newbie Kold Killa, Stunna Girl copyrighting Ahna's music, Emma's eye being permanently damaged by Sad Dolly and Bummer, and Jela's interview where she talked about a variety of topics, including Lex, Summer, Rolley, Ivory, Diamond the Body, Natalie, and more. So first we could start with this Stunna Girl and Ahna thing. These two are still going after they had their fight when Stunna Girl met up with them in Atlanta. Stunna Girl swears she won the fight. Ahna swears she won the fight. But recently, Ahna came out and said that the reason Stunna Girl has been so quiet since she left Atlanta and stopped filming with them is because she's been trying to get her get back in other ways. She claims that Stunna Girl is trying to copyright her music and say that she owns her music or taking claims for her music. And she's saying that Stunna Girl is doing that because she can't get her back physically, so she's getting her back by doing some grimy stuff like that.
After my little altercation with this Oompa Loompa bitch, she been quiet. I was trying to figure out why she was so quiet. And it's because it's big her get back. I knocked the dome out of this Oompa Loompa bitch. She's so mad. She copyrighted my music.
So Stunna Girl obviously saw that post that Ahna made and she responded and said, "Go back to your broke, delusional internet gangster life. Clout chasing off me is why you're in an effed up position now. Riding in a bucket, living in the network's apartment, not even in your name. You're slow, broke, scary, and a bird. Get off my PUSSY." Now the network's apartment is crazy. I don't know what that means. Zeus has an apartment and obviously Ahna lives in it. That's what Stunna Girl's alleging. Stunna said, "Y'all might see me argue once in a blue moon because I'm collecting a check and I'm highest paid." So she's saying she's one of the highest paid baddies, if not the highest paid baddie. And she said, "I go catch these girls in real life and leave them stretched. Then I'm back stunting on a daily while these bees are broke watching. You'll always come in last place, Stink, even though you was there first. LOL, you'll never be the first lady, though. You got the raggedy apartment out the bunch. I could really clock your tea." Now, again, this sounds like stuff we've already heard, that Ahna has been around Lemmy and the baddies before Scotty was even around behind the scenes. And we did see some clips of the baddies in the club on Baddie South, and Ahna was there, but she wasn't on the show yet. So Ahna been around allegedly messing with Lemmy, but she's still not the main B. She's still not the first lady. Scotty came in after Ahna, and it seems like Scotty is the main B now and the first lady. And that's why she said, "You got the raggedy apartment out the bunch." Basically saying Ahna got the cheap raggedy apartment and Scotty got the more, updated apartment, which makes sense because Stunna Girl did say when she was exposing Scotty before that Scotty had the apartment that Lemmy paid for and that she allegedly had cameras in her apartment so that Lemmy could watch her. So then Stunna Girl goes on to say, "Just like you made a deal with them to break up the fights fast or you wasn't coming out, the whole building said you got whooped on. That's why you still talking to this day, making stuff up like I'm bothering you. The whole time you're obsessed with me with your smoker looking ass. And your face looks like you pick at it." So Ahna responded in the comments and said, "Stunna, nobody said I got whooped. You're on literal camera leaking. You didn't whoop anything. That's why you left on mute, girl. You was hiding and lying on Instagram for days. And her body looks worse in person. Your feelings was hurt. Break up the fight faster? No, they let us fight. You wanted to go 4 rounds because you wasn't getting up on me. You really gonna lie, and all of this is about to air. Our fight went over and over. Lying about breakups. I told them don't grab my arms in your face, liar." And she said, "What Zeus apartment? I live in a nice crib and have an Airbnb. Your fat ASS is always lying and making stuff up. Eat a D, loser." So Ahna is denying that there is a Zeus apartment that she allegedly lives in. She also keeps saying that Stunna Girl is fat. I don't think Stunna Girl is fat. I think the BBL is a little extra and overdone, and she definitely needs to get it taken out. And like she said, her body probably does look worse in person, but I wouldn't call her overall a fat girl. So then Stunna Girl replies and says, "You didn't even want to fight me, scary. I had to make you fight. The whole building had to make you fight with your scary ASS. I had to do a 60-second countdown because you hit in the back the whole hour." So it sounds like Stunna Girl saying Ahna didn't want to come out for an hour, and eventually she started counting down, like, if she don't come out in a minute, I'm leaving. 60, 59, 58, 57. And they probably made Ahna come out the room because if Stunna Girl left, then the whole scene is done. And they just wasted money paying her and she didn't do the scene. So again, that's what I'm saying. It's like everything Stunna Girl saying is the complete opposite of what Ahna's saying. They both saying that they won the fight. They both saying they beat each other up. They both low-key trying to say each other was scary or left the building speechless or leaking. Like, What really happened? Then Stunna said, you said you were done the last round, girl. Stop lying. Of course I wanted to fight. That's what I came for. You wanted to talk it out. I had you every round. Y'all know I keep receipts for a rainy day. I could bust that bubble right now on my soul. Play if you want to. And I told them if they edit it any type of way than what it was, I'm going to be on demon time. I promise you, B. I'll have you crying right now, B. Keep talking. So Stunna Girl basically just saying that she still got more receipts and stuff that she can expose on Ahna and Zeus. And she also saying that she told Zeus if they edit it crazy, she going to be on demon time, which could mean that she going to continue to expose the network, or it could just go left and get really like street, because we know Stunna Girl is known for putting girls in cages and stuff like that. And Ahna be trying to talk tough and talking about how tough her family is, but I don't think she really ready for what Stunna Girl going to bring. But I could definitely see this going very left and ending very badly, because Stunna Girl is really like that. And Ahna likes to act like she's really like that and claim that her family is really like that. And if it gets outside of this show and it's, those two against each other on the streets, I don't know how that's going to go, but I don't think it's going to end well. And do I honestly feel like Stunna Girl is trying to copyright Ahna's music? No, because Stunna Girl said that Zeus tried to do that same type of stuff to her when she was leaving the network and trying to start her own network and stuff. She said Zeus was trying to stop her and trying to copyright her. So I feel like it could really be Natalie that's doing that to Ahna, but she thinking that it's Stunna Girl. Because Natalie got the track record, or Zeus got the track record of doing stuff like that, getting people pages taken down and things like that. That's not the first time we've heard people say Zeus got my page taken down. Okay, the next topic we have to talk about is Emma's eye and vision being permanently damaged by Sad, Dolly, and Bummer, which we will see tonight on episode 1 of the Midwest reunion, I'm assuming, because their fight takes place backstage. They're going to jump her backstage before they ever get on the stage. So I'm assuming that will make it into this first episode tonight. Y'all already know I feel like Summer and Sad Dolly are disgusting. I've been telling y'all they are gutter, weak ass bitches, and I don't with them, and this is why. Because the beef they had with Emma wasn't even that deep for real. So somebody wrote on Twitter and said, why would they put Emma in a room with girls that don't like her? Emma responded and said, it was a whole lot of weird stuff going on, but I'm not no B. Remember that. Just know I'm slapping girls whenever I see them. Now, I do feel like she need to get her get back on Summer and Dolly, but if her eye and vision is really permanently damaged, she also needs to sue Zeus, sue Lemmy, sue Natalie, sue Dolly, and sue Summer, since Dolly and Summer just started coming into some money by working for Zeus. Because why would they put her in a room or send her in a room with two girls that they know don't like her, where she had no allies in that room, and two girls that they know are known for jumping? Dolly and Summer are known for jumping. When Dolly and Emma fought on the show, Summer tried to jump in, but Ivory was there at the time and she dragged Summer out of the fight. But clearly this time y'all sent Emma in a room where there was no allies for her there like Ivory. So then she wrote, since my vision is effed up permanently, watch this, stay tuned. Somebody responded and said, from getting jumped. She said, yeah, LOL. Then someone said they did her dirty. I don't know why she went in there, because Yoshi wasn't going to do anything and Lex is a hypocrite. Emma responded and said, I was told to go in there. And I think that person is saying that Lex is a hypocrite because she was there and she watched Summer and Dolly jump Emma. But she's so anti-jump, anti-bully. Again, same reason I don't F with Lex either. She's a joke to me as well. And I did see some of the cabaret ladies as well as Ahna coming out to defend Emma. Ocean said, shout out to Emma. The realest get hit the hardest. Rose said, damn, my prayers go out to Emma, wishing healing and protection for her. And Ahna said, they jumped her 2 times already, but had a problem with us. I don't care, Emma. You need to get yours immediately. Make that call, bro. And I'm sorry about your eye, babe. Okay, and then this is quick. It's not really tea. It's just a little kiki. So when they were at that hosting for Lemmy's birthday party, there's been this clip going around of Rolley yelling at Summer, telling her to sit the fuck down. Sit the fuck down. And I could just imagine, I know Summer really got to be a headache in person. All that loud noise making all day long. And then on top of them saying how nasty she was on the bus, spitting, throwing up, peeing, and everything else. Like, yeah, I would be sick of her too.
I thought about the fact that I'm 39. I thought about the fact.
And Rolley be talking to Summer like that's her daughter, honestly. But I knew after they got into it at those auditions that wouldn't be the last time, because that just means that she clearly rubs Rolley the wrong way. And Summer's the type of person that's never going to stop. Even if Rolley does put her hands on her a couple times, she still probably won't stop. Okay, and then y'all know that Dolly and Diamond have been beefing. You know, Dolly thought she took Diamond's chain, but she really took Pretty P's chain and all of that. So now Dolly decided to put out a diss track to Diamond called Run Me That. In my opinion, Dolly sounded a mess. Everybody doesn't need to rap. And DTB actually makes some of the best and most listenable music out of the Baddies. So I feel like if she responds, she's going to eat Bad Dolly up. And then my whole thing with Bad Dolly is, why do you have a song called Run Me That? Like, that's Summer's quote. That's one of Summer's, like, phrases. On my mama, run me that. That's all her lingo. So why are you really stealing your bestie's personality and naming songs of yours after her quotes and her phrases, her catchphrases? Get your own personality, Dolly.
You think it's cute, I think it's tacky. You got your brain snatched out. Everyone, let's call Apache. Let's be for real now if you ask me. You is not no real bitch or no baddie. No all that crying in the backseat. Dime in the body, more like damn the bitch that tried. She ain't no baddie, that hoe weird, that hoe selfish, that hoe grimy. She could never be herself, always chasing clout. How you be friending a bitch that knock your tooth out? Body good, personality nasty. 2,000 bodies, pussy loose, pussy trashy. You think it's cute, I think it's tacky. You got your brain snatched out. Everyone, let's call Apache. Let's be for real now if you ask me. You is not no real bitch or no baddie.
Like I said, the song sounded a mess. So anyway, next, Dolly is also beefing with a newbie on the cast named Kold Killa. So this is her. I've heard she's been into it with a few people. I think Ivory, Dolly, and somebody else I heard. But I heard she lost all 3 fights that she had. She came in hot. She been popping it, but she not scary. So I think I'm going to like her, but we'll see. She's also the one who had beef with Diamond and Tinkerbella about the song because apparently she made a song very similar to their song Baddies Slide first. But like I said, from what I gathered, both Kold Killa and Diamond and Tink sampled somebody else. So I didn't really understand why Kold Killa would be mad about that. But hey, they said she felt the way. So I think it might have been Dolly, Ivory, and Diamond that she fought. But everything started when Kold Killa wrote, "Feels like all my life I had to fight in this B, what the F?" And Dolly responded and said, "Yeah, came in talking too much and can't hold up. Better drink some milk, B." Which is funny because Dolly, you talking about somebody came in and couldn't hold up and they better drink some milk. You're the one with the weak bones who needs to drink some milk. You come in talking a lot of stuff and always want to fight. And then every time you have a fight, you end up in the ER in the hospital. So what you really talking about? So Kold Killa responded. She said, "Dolly, you're a hater and you hate yourself. I ain't never seen someone so jealous of other bees. It's sad. And you still ain't getting no baddies chain. You just don't got it, boo. It's okay. Not everybody does." Now, from what I saw, Dolly did actually get her baddies chain now. But I know she didn't have it for a long time. So I get what she's saying. Now, right here, she ate Bad Dolly up. She said, "You like 34, washed up and miserable, and taking Summer's personality and slang because you don't have an image for yourself. You just not that girl. Then you pick and choose who you gonna fight and what fights you gonna jump in, and I just can't respect it. You weak as F. How the F you make a song with your friends' viral words? What?" Exactly what I said. Why do you have a song called Run Me That? You're 34 acting childish. Like you just got on Baddies at 34, and you think you just about to start this reality TV career and do this for years? No. Pack it up. Like she said, no real image for yourself. All you did was attach yourself to Summer, and now you starting to try to act like Summer. And then you definitely do pick and choose who you gonna fight. You kept fighting Pretty Pete all season last season on Midwest, but you never wanted to fight Tasiki until the reunion. And kept saying it was because your hand was messed up. How your hand messed up, but you could fight Pretty Pete? So then Dolly responded and said, "Ha ha, what the F and how the F am I a hater? You played and you laid. Hater, really? Oh, I know where you got that from. Never be. This is my season. Y'all mother effers better stay in line like I did. I've never been no hater. You the hate. Came in hating about some music." So she basically saying that Kold Killa came in hating on Diamond and Tinkerbella about their music and the song that they had in common or they used the same beat for or whatever. And Dolly basically let it be known that she'll be fighting Kold Killa again. She said, "I'm going to love to beat your A tomorrow for the 5th time. Y'all finna learn how to shut the F up this season, and that goes for all you bees. It's no picking and choosing this season. Are you dumb? Do you know the giants I've been fighting?" I guess Tasiki's the giant she been fighting. So then Kold Killa responded and said she working hard for that chain, y'all. She wanted so MF and bad. Now, I don't know if after all of this is when Bad Dolly got her chain or not. But from what I remember seeing, Dolly had her chain in the club already. But that would be crazy if Dolly got the chain after this, like after her getting into it with Kold Killa, because she should have already gotten her chain from the first day they stepped into Atlanta for the Africa season, simply off the fact that she fought Tasiki twice on Midwest. Okay, and then our last topic is going to be Jela's interview. Jela's interview was extremely long, y'all. The first part was about an hour and 45 minutes. Then they dropped the second part that was like an hour. And then there were also some other random clips that got dropped in between that were like 30 minutes and 15 minutes and 20 minutes. So I think I watched majority, if not all of it. And I will just give y'all a few little notes of things that she said and talked about. And I might include a couple of clips here. And there's also 2 clips from the interview on my TikTok, like my last couple posts, if y'all want to go see those. In the 2 posts that I posted, the first one was basically her saying that Rolley and Summer are not baddies. And then I also posted a clip of where Jela retracted that statement and basically said that Rolley was a baddie and also that Ivory was a baddie. What I'll be including in this video is a clip where she talks about Lex. So she talked about things like her early life, her time auditioning for the Bad Girls Club and being on the Bad Girls Club, the lawsuit that she ended up having with Oxygen and the Claremont twins, her starting her fashion line Normal Culture, her brief relationship that she had with NLE Choppa, the beginning of her friendship with Natalie. She said they've been friends since about March 2016. And she said, a lot of people don't really think Natalie has a heart. But the reason that she started getting so close to Natalie was because, they were already cool and hanging out. But Jela basically had a breakdown at some point in front of Natalie because she had lost a child. And she said at that time, her and Natalie still wasn't that close yet. But the way Natalie responded to her and showed her such empathy and was really there for her, that's what made her see Natalie like as a real person outside of the TV show and realize like maybe she is a nice person. Maybe that's a character. She talked about going to Dubai with Natalie in 2019 and Africa with Natalie in 2016. As far as Rolley, she was saying that Rolley doesn't like her because she lost the fight to her on South. But Jela did admit that while Natalie has talked about her on the show to people like Rolley and has been caught on the camera, Jela did also say, I've talked about Natalie and it might not have been caught on camera. So I'm not going to say that me and Natalie's friendship being where it is all her fault. It's just that everything I do might not be caught on camera. Did like the point she made as far as saying, people will forgive their man over and over again for cheating and everything else, but they'll cut their friend off for the slightest thing. And she was like, if it's something I'll forgive my man for, then I'm gonna forgive my friend, talking about Natalie. And she was basically saying, I just wish people understand that. And I can respect that because Jayla also gave Krishan her flowers for really being the person to kick off Baddies. She said that when Krishan put Persuasion in the sink, she feels like that gave the BGC fans something that reminded them of BGC. And from then they were hooked. About her and Krishan's relationship and how they were close on South, and they're not as close anymore, but they're definitely still cool and on good terms. She said that Diamond the Body is one of the most self-aware and smartest baddies on the show or in the franchise. She talked about Biggie and basically said that people kind of underestimate Biggie. Biggie actually hits hard, but she was basically saying she don't feel like she bullied Biggie or Gretch. Gretch was extremely disrespectful with saying the N-word, and Biggie threatened to slap Jayla when she saw her. And then when Jayla actually saw her and was on that, Biggie was crying victim and saying she was being bullied. But you the one who said you was going to put your hands on me. She also talked about how she originally started defending Meatball against Gretchen for Gretchen calling Meatball the N-word, and then Meatball turned on Jayla and basically wanted to fight Jayla because Jayla supposedly bullied Biggie. And then they ended up fighting at the reunion and everything. And she was like, Meatball turned on me, but she always was a crash out. Every time the replacements was about to get brought into the house, she was threatening people with blades and stuff. And I was always the one in the corner telling her it's not worth it, don't crash out, even though she had turned on me. I do feel like Jayla probably was coming from a genuine place with Meatball, but I think Meatball saw Jayla as one of those people like, you think you better than me and you trying to tell me how to live my life because you think you could do it better. You think you better than me. You think you above me. So I think she wasn't really taking in the stuff that Jayla was saying. Whereas when she heard the same type of stuff from somebody like Tommy, she was able to take it in because she don't see Tommy as somebody who feels like she's better than. And by the way, like I said, I definitely recommend y'all go check out the interview and all the attached clips by yourself. So this is the channel right here on YouTube, A Connection TV. And then the last things that Jayla basically had to say, first she said that Rolley wasn't a baddie and that she was evil. But like I said, she ended up retracting that statement and saying that Rolley actually is a baddie. She's contributed a lot to the Baddies franchise. And Rolley is the type of person who is an independent thinker and will stand on her own and will stand up against the OGs if she feels like they're doing some BS. So Jayla was like, for example, if everybody's being mean to all of the newbies, Rolley will be the one to tell us like the newbies ain't do nothing to me and I like them, so y'all need to stop that BS. Like she'll call them out and basically say, I'm not going along with y'all BS. I'm gonna still talk to the newbies and y'all need to stop it. So it definitely was given a little wishy-washy, because how you go from saying she evil to saying that when y'all be being mean to newbies, she be the one calling y'all out and saying, I'm not going to do that. As far as Summer, she stood on the fact that Summer is not a baddie. She said Summer has no coof and she has a stink kitty cat. And she also stood on that multiple times, that Summer has a foul odor coming from her. And then the last person she talked about was Lex. She basically said that when she initially saw Lex, she felt like they would get along. Normal culture is made for tall girls like herself. And she thought that Lex fit the mold perfectly. Like, she's a pretty girl. She's tall. She was like, I felt like she could really be a model for me and that she was a baddie. But she basically said, Lex kept picking with me. And she was like, it's so weird because when I first met her, she was so cool. But then when we got on camera, it was all this smoke and her saying that I was a bully from what she watched on TV, this, that, and the third. So basically saying that Lex was a fan and that she was a production pet. And that when she would get on camera, she would have beef with people because production told her to for storylines. But then she would get off camera and be like, oh, I'm really cool with you. Like, I actually like you. I'm just doing what I got to do for the show. Not being a real B, being a scripted hoe. And Jayla had went on to call her stylist or her makeup artist, and the makeup artist basically explained that Lex is a fan. Lex was off camera saying that she wanted to be a model for normal culture, this, that, and the third. She wanted to work with Jayla, but then when they got on camera, she looked for beef with Jayla.
I'm a baller to a baddie. Yeah, bitch, guess what? You want to be Angel Reese, but you're not. How you play D1 basketball? Your mouth is that big. Your teeth are that big. Your feet are that big. You look like La Cienega Boulevard as with your big teeth and your big feet and the butterfly clips in your like you're in third grade and you're a grown ass woman talking about you're a baller to a baddie. I guess your first plan didn't work to be a basketball player because the WNBA ain't want your ass. They ain't even paying like the NBA and they still didn't want you and you went to a D1 school.
Oh, and then I almost forgot, this right here was a mess. So Rolley saw Jayla's interview and she responded. She said, now I'm sitting in Africa minding my business and I seen Jayla little interview. I mean, I'd be mad as F2 if I got fired after eating so much kitty cat just to stay on the show. Must I remind you how you got your job, Baddies South? Wait, she was about to tell it all when she got mad on Baddies Caribbean, right? Oh, I needs to get in the chair and start talking. Hashtag demon time. So Rolley's basically threatening to do her own interview or sit down and expose Jayla. And she said, remember when Jayla said she was going to tell it all on Baddies Caribbean? And I told y'all, Jayla had got mad at the beginning of Baddies Caribbean when they was filming. And she was online going off saying that Lemmy left her stranded and deserted on the island and told the security to leave her by herself. And he was calling her all type of B's. And she was going to expose everything from the top of Baddies South. And then she deleted all the tweets and just went on and acted like nothing happened. So everybody was like, well, Jayla must have got paid off because she deleted everything. And then she was still on the show. And she did the next season, which was Midwest. So what was it that you was really going to expose about Lemmy? Now, when she say eating so much kitty cat, I don't know if she means literally or if she means like, you know how somebody say you sucking so much D, which basically just means you D-rodding somebody to get what you want. You sucking their D. So I think she could have meant like you eating so much kitty cat, like you eating Natalie kitty cat to the point so that you could get your job. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it was like literal or figurative. So Jayla responded and said, not so fast. Let's start with I don't eat cat and I didn't get fired, beloved. I definitely told them I didn't want to do this season. Now, when you do your sit down, make sure you state only facts. Lie on me one time and I swear I'm going to sue you. So yeah, tell me how I got my job on Baddies South again. Tell only the truth because this will be the year you'll never forget playing with me. So she's basically saying, Rolley, if you tell a lie on me, I will sue you for defamation. I do feel like Rolley is just saying this to say it. I think she might be coming from a figurative place. But as far as her saying it like as if Jayla F to get her job on Baddies South, I don't believe that because Natalie made it clear that Jayla got fired or got let go because she's not one of Lemmy's girls. When Jayla was going off on Baddies Caribbean, she was basically saying that Lemmy was talking to her any kind of way, which basically showed that Jayla and Lemmy don't have the greatest relationship. And Jayla is a former bad girl from the Bad Girls Club, so I don't think she has to do too much to get a job on Baddies compared to what other girls who are coming from Now That's TV or girls who are literally just being discovered for the first time on Zeus may have to do. So overall, like I said, definitely a good interview, a long watch, but it does have a lot of tea in it. And it's just interesting overall. I think it's a good watch. So make sure y'all check that out. And that is the end of my Baddies Africa Tea recap, part 5. Like I said, the reunions tonight. I'm going to see if I could get out this pre-show video. But if I don't, I'll just have the review for episode 1 up tomorrow at some point. Make sure y'all follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.